The Ford Engineering Laboratory turns 100 years old. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Ford is Senior Collections Archivist Ciera Casteel. Hi, Ciera.
Hi, Fred. Thanks for having me.
A pleasure. Well, it's a building in Dearborn that played a
Yes,
big role in the history of driving and the automobile. Take us back a bit, Ciera.
sure. So, as you mentioned at the top, we're celebrating the 100th anniversary this year. Construction on the building actually began in April of 1923 and was completed in December of 1924. So, we're happy to be here, and this is the home of the archives itself. And then it's also home to our battery electric engineers. And they're actually all moving back in today and tomorrow. So we're happy to have some more people in the building because it's gotten kind of lonely during these 3 years of construction. But it's a building with a lot of history, and it's actually home to the last remaining office that Henry Ford worked in. And thanks to our partnership with the Henry Ford Museum, we have some of his original furniture that was in the office. And so we've been able to kind of stage it so it looks like somebody is still working there. And Edsel Ford has an office that's right next door with some original furniture as well. And some great products were produced in this building. Some of the products that have really helped Ford make a name for itself throughout the years, such as the 1928 Model A, the 1932 V8 engine, the 1949 Ford, which has been credited with help saving the company. And then something that we're really excited about this year is we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the launch of the Hybrid Escape, which was also worked on and designed in this building. So it's been a great place that has been adaptively reused over the years, and the people who work in here have changed over time, but a lot of that original structure has been returned to the building as a result of the renovations. And it's a really beautiful place to work. I'm lucky to be here.
So tell us a little more about the renovations that are going on. And I guess it's going to enable the continuing use of this as a laboratory, right?
Yes, absolutely. So the prior to the renovations, the battery electric engineers worked here, and there were various labs and a garage where a lot of the work was done. And since then, things have been updated. They've added more lab space for the engineers to work and do testing. They're completely renovating the garage as well so that they can fit more vehicles in there, and there's less worry about physical space for engineering on these electric vehicles. And there's a lot of collaboration spaces that have been added, these really beautiful conference rooms, and a lot of also soft seating, which is nice when you're here all day. It's nice to have a place to go sit that's kind of cozy and be able to just talk more casually with your coworkers. And we have a great little coffee spot in here now. We did not previously have a cafe. And so it's great to be able to come here and get fresh coffee and a little fancy latte every once in a while. So it's really beautiful. It used to be kind of a cube farm with drop ceilings, but they've removed those drop ceilings, removed a lot of those cubes, and now we have access to natural light again because the building is home to these giant architectural monitors that are essentially just banks of windows that face the center of the space. And so we have plants in here now, where it's it's so, I can't even describe how much more aesthetically pleasing the building is in comparison to when you would walk in here pre-renovation. So I think we're very lucky, and Fordland has done a great job.
I wonder if lattes existed when Henry Ford was around.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to look into that.
I understand that during the renovation that some things were uncovered, revealed here that maybe turned out to be a bit of a surprise.
Yes. There as they were removing the drop ceiling and a lot of the ceiling tiles above, they discovered various paint jobs that had been done throughout the years, like some bright orange paint, powder blue paint. They also knocked through a few walls and discovered that the cafeteria that had previously existed before the building was decommissioned in 2007 had just been walled over. And there was a whole cafeteria behind this wall that hadn't been cleared out before. They just decided to wall over it. And there were cafeteria trays, dishes, garbage cans, all kinds of things back behind this wall. And the building is also home to, there's a basement, a subfloor underneath the main area. And they were digging through the basement for what felt like months, just uncovering storage that had been under there. When the building had initially opened, there was more of a workspace down in that basement area. But since then, we've decided the basement is no longer a place that people should be working. And so we have restricted access to the basement, but it really was just every day the contractors would come through and tell us about new things that they were discovering that had been previously hidden.
I know that some work was shifted out to Silicon Valley with all this new high-tech stuff some time ago. That's still going on. So the work is simultaneous, or tell us about it.
Yes, that work is still going on. I think the work is going on simultaneously. I believe this building prior to the renovation was home to around 1,200 engineers, and we have 800 engineers that are moving back in as of right now to kind of determine how to best use the space in the building. And but yes, there is work going on the West Coast as well.
So this is not open to the public, I assume, is it?
It's not, especially with some of the work that's going on here being proprietary and kind of, it's in the engineering, the testing phases. And so we're not open to the public, but we are just excited to get back in here as employees, because as I mentioned, it gets lonely when we're in this building alone. So we're just happy to have more teammates back in.
Is this where the famed prototypes, so-called prototypes, are created or are dreamt up?
So the design center we're all part of the research and engineering campus. But the design center and the clay modeling, those things are dreamt up across the street in what used to be the product development center, but is now going to be called the Hub, which is another beautiful building that's been undergoing some major construction efforts and should open hopefully within the next year.
And then the engineers are given the task of, hey, here's the prototype. See if you can make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a place people can go to for more information?
Yes, actually, I want to take the opportunity to plug my colleague, Shelby Long, another archivist here. She wrote this great article that was published through a journal called Docomomo. And they have a website where you can read about the history of the building as well as a lot of the renovations that have been going on. And then we also have on the Ford Heritage Vault, we have a selection of images from throughout Fell's history that people can download, view, kind of see, get an idea of what's been going on here throughout the years.
And Fell means Ford Engineering Laboratory.
Yes, sorry, we get so lost in the acronyms.
Perfect. Ciera Casteel, congratulations to everyone there on the anniversary, and thank you for spending time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Fred.